Hello guys, this is Avcoor part 2 of the banner video. I actually am really excited about Lucia because they actually did some incredible stuff with her. But first of all, more importantly, I love this costume. I really like this costume. Of course, it's still tasteful, a little risque, but the detail is absolutely insane. So as you can see, they really just like went all out on this costume. So I'm very satisfied about that. I'm really satisfied with that. So the overall mechanics of Beach Agent as a costume is pretty satisfying. First of all, we got Sun's Favor. It actually gives you 5% HP. It actually gives you physical defense plus 50%. And I think, like I said, going forward, we're actually going to see more of this. And this is a good thing because as the bosses and content gets harder, you actually have to manage our abilities to get the most out of them. And having something that covers your HP in whatever defense stat that you're using is absolutely premium. I think one of the best aspects of Barrett's costume is the fact that it raises his HP in defense. That was always premium, and like Flame Frost Fangs with the costume that Red 13 got, those things are premium because bosses hit harder and you can't out DPS them anymore. So this is really good. The buff debuff extension Arcanum is actually pretty premium as well. The whole combination of this is actually very desirable because it makes her an effective debuffer while also keeping her alive. So don't overlook the combination that you see in this costume. It's actually very efficient. So even more efficient is Marine Shooter. I think Marine Shooter is an extremely efficient weapon set as it does something extremely well to all enemies, and I'm getting kind of concerned that they will push us into content where AoE is more demanding, and a lot of players have focused on single target because single target is the way that we've been able to effectively kill our content. So if we see multiple bosses, then we're going to have to actually reevaluate things. From a statistical standpoint, compared to Yuffie's weapon, the stats are not so mid-max. And I don't like that because if you're gonna do for Yuffie, you might as well do the same thing for her. Look at the stats; they're not mid max. You don't need magic attack here. You can actually drop that and dump it into heal. So I thought that was like a missed opportunity. But you get boost physical ability potency and boost fire potency, which is absolutely premium. I mean, like that's absolutely premium because if you 120 this, you actually get to level 3. And I think they actually did this with another weapon of hers. They gave her a boost magic ability potency, and we'll check that afterward. But that's absolutely premium. As a sub weapon, this is absolutely premium. And I hope they go in this direction with a lot of other weapons because when you get down into the deeper mechanics of our abilities, your elemental potency comes first, your physical or magic ability potency comes second, and then your attacking stat comes third. So when you look at a weapon like this, evaluate it from that standpoint that they're focusing on the better R abilities that you as a attack based unit should have focus on. If you get what I'm saying, that if you're going to build a DPS unit, you should focus on these two types of R abilities. So that's what makes this weapon extremely desirable. R abilities alone. That's absolutely correct. Especially getting this high at 120, that's absolutely cracked. So it even gets worse because you're getting boost physical ability potency at 40 points and boost fire potency at 27 points. Absolutely premium for someone like Cloud or Sephiroth or even Yuffie and even herself, which is absolutely grand. So you're looking at 609 points of P attack, 466 points of magic attack. So you can see it's starting to get more mid-max here, and 220 heal. So 664 P attack, less mid-max than Yuffie's weapon, but still solid overall. Yuffie almost got close to 700 P attack, which is absolutely scary. That's really scary. That's a high ceiling to catch up to. So it's okay. But this makes it so good. 46 points actually nets you in the 6 bin. So if you are able to max this out and get it to level 120, you should main hand this weapon because you're getting 45 points, 46 points of boost physical attack potency, and you're just like 10 points away from max stance. And with boost fire potency, you're actually hitting the 5 bin. So this actually makes her an extremely competent fire-based attacker. But let's look at the overall ability here. Bullet Hell is really good because it's doing a couple of things that you actually would want them to do. First of all, it's decreasing P attack, which is great. Not only is it decreasing P attack, it's doing it for all enemies. And when your HP is 50% or more, fire resist is decreased. It's mid, but it actually goes to max potency, which is something that other weapons don't do as a one-off. That impresses me is the fact that as a one-off it can do that. So that's really good. So let's move on to OB6. So now it goes to high now. So you hit one time mid and the next time high, and that's for all enemies. So if your HP is above 50%, you automatically go to high, which is absolutely premium. So this is the thing that may be limiting to some people, is the fact that the P attack is decreased and you actually have to do 2 stacks in order to get it to high, whereas you only need 1 hit in order to get it to high on the fire resist decrease, which is concerning on some level, because in higher level boss battles you actually want to drop the P attack by 3 stacks immediately. But since you do it to all enemies, I guess it kind of balances it out. But I don't think this was a big concern. I don't think that this would have made the weapon absolutely broken or not, because it's only doing 560 points of physical non-elemental damage. So I don't see the point of that. I don't see why the devs did that. I think this was a big miss for the devs right here. It should have been high. If it was high, a lot of people would have went for it. But this makes it right here. This is the weakest selling point of the weapon right here. The R abilities are absolutely fantastic. The stats are good. Not as good as Yuffie's weapon, but yeah, this is the weakest point of the weapon. This is one of the strongest aspects of the weapon. First of all, you're getting P attack boost. For some people, like myself, I might prefer like attack boost because sometimes you want defaith or debrave here. But attack boost fire is absolutely critical. This makes this weapon one of the better weapons in the game, and then you get sigil boost. So it's a well-rounded weapon. It's one of those weapons that you really want to have, but the timing is off on this weapon because we have the September anniversary coming up and we have Vincent. It makes it hard for you to want to summon for this weapon, but the weapon is so good that you know you're going to hurt for not having it. So the question is, do you want this weapon? I've explained it as best as I could, and aesthetically the weapon is pleasing, but do you want the weapon? Do you think that you need the weapon? And that's the question I want to ask in the comments. Do you think you need this weapon? I think it's a very interesting weapon, but is it necessary? In my mind, it's not, because the limit break weapons are absolutely desirable, as I have played content in this game and I found that without the limit break weapons I would not have cleared it. And I look at this weapon and I think there is some content that may be difficult, but I can still clear. But with the limit break weapons, I just don't think that once they release these new set of limit break weapons, that the content will get any easier and that we're going to need those weapons to clear them. So I'm going to save my tickets for the September banner, and I think you should too. But anyways, like, share, subscribe. I'll get back to you. Let me know if you're going to summon or not. Laters.